Hello and welcome to Runkle of the Bailey. My name is Ian Runkle. I'm a Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. I want to talk about some recent developments in the Rust shooting. So if you haven't been following this one, Alec Baldwin shot and killed someone on the set of Rust. He was originally charged, as well as Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, the armorer. Now, his charges have been dropped, and Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, again, the armorer, is still facing charges. But one thing I've been pointing out is that the prosecution seems to be unable to play things straight, and that there's a real risk that these charges get tossed, even though I think both of them deserve jail time, because the prosecution just can't play things level. And that's really a problem, because there's a latest motion to dismiss, and it is a bombshell. The allegations made in this are, quite frankly, shocking to me as a defense lawyer. I've never seen anything like it. I hope never to see anything like it again. But let's have a look, because this to me feels real close to witness tampering. So yeah, let's check this out. So this is the supplement to motion to dismiss second amended information and motion to dismiss third amended information. So basically they want some charges thrown out, and there's a couple of reasons why. One of the reasons is, quite frankly, less interesting. They want this particular DA, Carmack Altweiss, off the case, and the judge had previously said that that DA was off the case, that instead it was a special prosecutor, Andy Reeb, who was handling things. Now, that to me is the far less shocking allegation on this one, because the real allegation is a big one. So let's get to that, because it's a big deal. So the government has indicated that they were complying with their Brady obligations. So they're providing all of the information to the defense that they're required to provide. And the defense, Ms. Gutierrez-Reed's counsel, was a little bit suspicious of this. But they received an email, and this email was sent to them basically by accident. This was an email from the state's lead investigator on the Rust shooting. So not just some random person, this is a really important email. And they've got the email attached. We'll read through the full thing at the end, but we'll just right now look at the critical bit, because the email has this really nasty line for the prosecution. So, and they quote it here. It says, "The current special prosecutor has directed that I conduct no further investigation into this matter. The conduct of the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office during and after their initial investigation is reprehensible and unprofessional to a degree that I still have no words for. Not I or 200 more proficient investigators than I can/could clean up the mess delivered to your office in October 2022, 1 year since the initial incident. Inexcusable." That's the lead investigator telling this to the prosecutor. And specifically, he said, hey, I actually think that this is disclosable. I think that this is something that is potentially releasable to the defense. But he was still willing to put that in writing to say this is terrible. And now the defense is upset, because what is the prosecutor's response? They email and they say, "Oh, we sent this to you by accident. Please delete it. Please just pretend you never got it." And they're not willing to do that. They're saying, wait a minute, what the heck? What is going on here? Because this is really concerning. The defense is arguing that their theory on this case is that the investigation was negligently undertaken, was not well done. And here is an email from the lead investigator as he's being kicked off the file, where he's saying this was negligently done, that this was unprofessional and reprehensible. So that is stunning. And now they're trying to hide this. They're trying to keep this information quiet. Now, not only did they say please delete it, but defense counsel, so counsel for Ms. Gutierrez-Reed, the armorer, reached out and they wanted to talk to this investigator. They said, hey, we'd like to find out a little bit more information. And this is what they discovered. The investigator indicated that he's under an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. So, and I'll just quote here from the filings. It says, following this exchange and media IPRA requests, so their information requests of Mr. Schilling's email, Mr. Schilling messaged to counsel that this IPRA request didn't give him great confidence and that he was under an NDA, apparently not to talk about either his being told to stop working, the reasons surrounding that, or anything about the case. Now, one wonders who would put him under an NDA. How does he end up under a non-disclosure agreement? He's the government's investigator. Who's he going to be making deals with except maybe the government? And if the government is trying to block him from providing information to counsel, this is a real problem because he's a witness. And witnesses are, you don't own a witness. Witnesses are just, they have information. Defense counsel, it's entirely appropriate for them to say, hey, we'd like to pick your brain. We'd like to get some information about what what you might say. And in fact, this is so unusual that, again, I'm going to quote from the filings here because I think they said it really well. I agree with them, but they say, in 30 years of practicing law, both as a prosecutor and defense attorney, undersigned counsel has never seen an instance where a prosecutor attempted to silence a lead investigator with potentially exculpatory evidence, exculpatory meaning it tends to show that the person is not guilty, through the use of an NDA. There is currently a national movement to ban NDAs, especially in respect to cases involving SH or SA. YouTube doesn't like certain words, so we're going to just tiptoe around them, so that powerful political and social figures cannot escape scrutiny and quietly make things disappear, which is a big deal in this case, right? So they note that a trial is supposed to be a search for the truth, not a game of hide the ball to obtain a conviction. And they suggest that this actually likely violates that law. So they're annoyed. They're pretty angry about this. And quite frankly, I think that they are right to be angry. This is exceptional. This is unheard of. I don't have 30 years under my belt, but I can tell you that I've never seen anything like this. I've never heard of trying to put a witness under a non-disclosure agreement to keep them from talking, especially when they have evidence that might be exculpatory, because that is stuff that the prosecution is required to give to the defense. So again, I started out saying I don't really see, I think that both Baldwin and Hannah Gutierrez-Reed should get some jail time on this one. And they're really changing my mind because now I'm starting to think that this case should just be thrown out based on this kind of stuff. Just because a case is high profile doesn't mean that there's any reason to cut corners. In fact, quite the opposite. Play things straight, play it honestly, and let the chips fall where they may. This isn't the sort of thing where you can do this. So this is really frustrating. I think we may see any semblance of justice slip through our fingers because of this kind of behavior. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Let me know if you think I'm making a mountain out of a molehill here, or if you agree that this is actually a really big deal. I think this is tremendously concerning. Think about it if you were charged with an offense, and think if you were falsely accused of an offense, but they wanted to lock up the witness that could have cleared you with a non-disclosure agreement so you couldn't talk to them. How confident would you feel in the justice system? And how confident would you feel in the justice system seeing people getting locked up, and they tell you that they've got a dangerous person off the streets, but they were never able to talk to witnesses that might have actually cleared them? Are you feeling really confident that the dangerous people are actually off the streets now? I don't think so. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because every once in a while I do a video and people say, hey, did you do a video on this? And I say, you bet I did. And they didn't get it. And that's because they didn't have that notification turned on. So turn that on and you'll get notification of every video that comes out. I also want to thank my Patreon supporters at the $50 level: Traveling Science Man, the CCFR, CAIM, Canada's National Firearms Association, and the CCSA. At the $30 level, Sights and Arms Limited and Jane Babe and Luxor. And at the $10 level, at the $20 level, the $10 level will be in the crawl immediately following. But Lindsay Metcalf, Larry Kalniak, Kyle Fox, Here's a Coin, Legal Witcher, Cameron Johnson, Andrew Elsich, Vicky, and Dorky Dane. Thank you for watching. I hope this has armed you with knowledge. See you next time.